What's going on, everybody? Joshua Cook, VYPE Media, back for another week on the Coach's Corner with our esteemed panel guest, Dennis Silva II of VYPE Media, of course, James Williams of those Fort Bend Marshall Buffs, and Sean McDowell of those Foster Falcons. Welcome back, coaches. Another week, another exciting week of Texas high school football. As we go towards the end of this season, trying to ask, a few more fun questions and stuff. Is there let me ask this one. When you're at practice, who's in control of the playlist? What are we listening to? Is it coach's choice? Is it kid's choice? What are you jamming to at practice these days?
First, it's to me, there's no difference between what my coaches listen to and what the kids listen to. So the only difference is that we do the edited versions of everything, So we use Tidal. So we stream it off our iPad through a big old speaker, and he creates the playlist that we have. We've got 90s rap, we've got 2000s, we've got top 25. We just kind of roll it. Some of the stuff, like if you want me to jam at practice, it's gonna be like Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep, stuff like that they don't even know about. Old school Snoop Dogg in there. Some of the stuff, some of the stuff I don't know what it is, but they like it. Get them hyped up for practice. So, but my thing is it has to be edited. So, but I do put a coach in charge of it. It has a little bit more of a pulse to it than I do, because some of the stuff I just don't like, and I play what I like to hear at practice, because it ain't about me and the coaches, what we like. It's about what the kids like, so.
Yeah, I agree with that. I have a coach, Coach Washington, younger coach, he's in charge of that. He has a good playlist, variety. I like the old school stuff. I'll do the Tupac and the Biggie. I'll do the, we'll even get play some R&B. I don't care. I use it as motivation for the kids. If you want to practice right, then you can have what you want. But if you ain't gonna practice the right way, then you're gonna listen to my stuff. So I definitely like a variety, and just keep it moving. I mean, these guys these days, kids they have to have music in their ear. They have to have something going on, and gives a little more energy. So I used to be old school and completely against that stuff, but again, it's not about me, like Coach said. It's not about me and the coach. It's about those kids, and let them a little reward for work they put in, and we haven't had any issues with it. So. But definitely some variety in there.
We actually will limit when we play it, so it doesn't play loud all the time, because you can't coach with that going on. So there's different periods where we got to turn it down, because we want to be able to talk and hear ourselves talk and coach, But like any kind of team setting where we're fixing to try to hype it up, boom, volume's up, let's get it,
Definitely.
We talk about some of these players. I know, some of these guys have been around y'all for a long time. Either, they knew you in middle school, coming up through the ranks, and they've been a 4-year letterman for you. In your team setting, which players can impersonate you the most? Like out of not like making fun, but out of a respect thing where they kind of impersonate you the best. Who are those guys?
Oh, I definitely have quite a few. I have some key words. I'm one of those. My F word is frick. I'm with the that's just so whenever they want to get after me, it's quite a few. I have a couple key words that they love to throw out there at me and have a good time with, and but you always know when they're paying attention. You always know how to get their attention when they're paying attention. But when it's light, I have quite a few I like to give it back to.
Yeah, I think our most creative group and kind of eclectic group is our offensive line. Those guys tend to want to impersonate everybody, because I don't know what they do over there in lineman land sometimes, but I think that's what they're working on, is impersonations and choreography of stuff. So they do a great job of kind of doing it in everybody. Then, you'll watch most of the skill kids. Everybody kind of does everything, because we have our own mannerisms and the things we say and the things we do, and how we dress and how we look. And so them kids will do it. I think imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So I love it. They just know if they give it, we're going to give it back to them. So.
Right.
I know you guys are at different points of your season. Coach, I'll start with Coach McDowell. You guys had a tough loss, 1-point loss to Angleton last week. That more or less ends any playoff hopes. But you have a young team, a lot of guys coming back. The rest of the season, you mentioned just a while ago how you guys are still working hard in the weight room and attitudes are up and kids are still giving it they're all Coach McDowell. As far as the rest of the season that you guys have, I guess next 2 weeks, what are you hoping these young guys build on and can generate as they move into the offseason and get ready with so many guys coming back for next year?
I think the big thing is, number one, is that success is not – the expectation for success still have to put the work in. Like, you can't just show up. Like, things aren't going to go – and then when things don't go your way, like, you still got to go back to work, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, football's a funny game, and so is life. Like, you got to work hard, and you got to go in it, go get it, and get what you want, but nothing is guaranteed. So just because we show up and we got Foster on our chest and we do some good things here and there, like, people aren't going to bow down. It's a constant pressure, a constant battle to be able to get better every day and not live off any past successes. Like, every year is different. Every team is different. And so it really just comes to, like, life. Like, you got to put in the work and then just see what happens. But if you don't put in the work, then you really can't say anything like, I shoulda, woulda, coulda. So just do it all. Get after it. I mean, it gives us some extra motivation this year for off season because we're going to roll call. We're going to do some roll call and we're going to toe that line and we're going to find out who's really about it because I don't think we've been as about it as I reflect on it, and so that's coaches and kids, to be honest with you. And so we're going to find out and we're going to get back to doing what we do, and that's playing winning football and doing things right, which has never been a problem, and playing winning football and getting back to the postseason because it's not the same when we're not there. So I think our resolve is there. I think the kids still have a good attitude based on what we did today. We'll go back to work, and that's really the thing I'm trying to teach them. Like, things don't go your way, but you can't sit there and sulk. You can't pout about it. You get over it, and then we go back to work and we move on, and then we deal with it the way we can, and that's the only way I know how to do it is to go back to work. And so that's what we're doing now. So, and basically I told them I love them. I love this team. I love their effort. I love their attitude. Things didn't go our way, but as young men, I'm not disappointed in them, because they did everything we asked them to do. They honestly did. They did everything we asked them to do. Things just didn't go our way.
I know it's not the result you wanted, but what are you most encouraged by from this season? What do you take away as a coach from these guys when you came in with so much uncertainty, you didn't know what you had, and kids who were trying to establish themselves? What are you most encouraged by from this year?
I'm encouraged by, I thought our effort was good. Like, we didn't have much negativity, even though things went bad early and we were up and down, but we didn't have any like locker room lawyers or like guys that were really negative. We didn't have anybody really just come up and quit. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, just said this is too much. I saw a lot of good effort. I saw more fight and effort towards the end of this season. Even though we have one more game, the last 2 games, I've seen the most fight out of us. And so I'm really proud of that. I tell you, I know it sounds crazy, but, man, it was a really emotional night on Friday, right, after meeting Angleton. We got to drive back an hour and a half here. But I left here at like 1:45 in the morning, right, on Friday, after the kids are gone, film, laundry, all that stuff. And the locker room was spotless. I know that sounds like they had every opportunity to trash it, leave stuff around. But, man, that thing was spotless. So I was proud of that. You know what I'm saying? So we've gotten to that point. But, dang it, I want to win, right? But, so our numbers are up as a program. Man, we've got more numbers than we've had in years. We still have a lot of excitement with our parents. Our parents have been great. Our coaches are doing a great job. Things just didn't go our way. And it's easy. It's nice to be kind of centered and humbled a little bit. But I'm ready to talk it. I'm ready to walk it. I'm ready to get back to it. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't sulking no more. We're going to get back on this grass. We're going to find a way to win and beat Kempner. And then we're going to win this offseason. And then we're going to go back doing what we do. And that's all you can do. So
that's awesome.
And then go scout for James in the post.
Come on. I need it.
Coach Williams, y'all coming off a bye, obviously. And I know with the district y'all have and who y'all play, you mentioned a lot about practice, how important that is, one-on-one, best on best, how that's basically your games because of how, just where y'all are as far as the program work compared to where other teams may be in the district. Can you talk about your practice, how you do manage and structure that to where the guys do get the best out of it, they are getting the most out of it, and whereas it's essentially what you would like them to get during the district games, but at least they're getting it in practice against equal talent, elite level talent. Yeah,
sure. We plan practice very thoroughly. We think it out. We want to cover definitely game situations we may have not have had any games, situations that have come up, that will come up, probably could come up. So when we do get those situations, we're prepared and ready to go. But the main thing about practice is having a competitive practice. What guys are, you have the tempo of practice you want, the speed of practice you want, the physicality of practice you want. And when we're able to go first offense versus first defense and get after, we go, our inside drill we're doing, which is, just run the game, run the ball, and just the physicality of that. Working on our fundamentals, offense working on our fundamentals, and just getting after it and competing at a high level, and doing 7-on-7, doing team, again in team situations, because so far in the season we haven't had a 2-minute situation really. So today we're going to do a 2-minute situation in practice today, good on good, and just get those situations done and learn from it. With teaching, a lot of teaching happens, and there was a game this past weekend in college. I forgot the school, but they had a last-minute situation in their game where they had just gotten the first down. I think it was 11 seconds to go in the game, and they could have. They had time. It was the first down, so they had time to move the chains and then spike the ball and then bring the But they ran the hurry up field goal on, and it just kind of was a cluster, and ended up missing the field goal and I lost the game. But a situation like that, you have to go over. You don't want the first time to go through that to be on playoff night, fourth quarter of the playoffs. You want to have those situations. So we provide a bunch of situations for our players to go through in practice. But again, the most important thing is the competitiveness, the physicality of it, the speed. We want to go playoff speed. We want to be playoff physical. So that's probably the biggest thing we try to get in practice. And it's not about practicing long. We're not out there for 2.5 hours, but we're out there for a good time and a good enough time for us to keep working, keep getting better, and then stay fresh and get off, especially this time of year.
Have your practice plans changed because of the talent you have now, or have they always been the same no matter what your coaches were?
Yeah, you always adjust. There's always adjusted. The overall format stays very similar, but you definitely adjust compared to your team. What you may need to work on, maybe some situations you've had in the games already. But the main thing is everything is planned out. Everything is designed. We meet as a staff, my leadership, my coordinators. We meet, and what do we need? What do we need to work on more? We need to work on short yardage a little bit more right now. With different packages we need to work on, and just pretty much have a plan towards we're getting better, continue to get better. So that's the main thing, is everything is well thought out to give us the best work we need.
And my last question for you, Coach, winding down to the last few weeks of the season, you mentioned throughout these coaches' corners you've done the PNG game last year, the playoff game, how important that was as far as an eye-opening type thing. How do you go these last 2 weeks to prevent what almost happened in that PNG game and be more ready, be more mentally prepared for what's about to come in the playoffs in the next 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's just a heavy focus on it, because the reality is we've not played a full game this entire year so far. We've run the clock every game. And, but again, that's just how it's gone. But that's why we stress in practice so much more. But, that's our big key is to use that from last year as a learning experience. You cannot relax in any situation, no matter who you're playing. You got to take it all as if you're playing a state championship. You got to go in with that mentality. Whether you're in meetings, whether you're in the weight room, whether you're practicing, it's that mentality of it's just our state championship this week, and we got to win. We got to be dominant, and we got to start fast. So we won't get in situations like that. And it's just a singular focus. It's a different team. Last year was a different group of seniors. This is a different group right here, a different mentality. Definitely a learning experience, but one that we'll focus on. We'll talk about today. We always have Character Mondays, so we'll start off today with a quick lesson, and a continuous reminder of what we're here for, what our goals are, and take it one day at a time.
Awesome, and I have one more question for both of y'all. It just kind of announced, but Texas Tech let go of Matt Wells as coach. Are any of y'all interested in the Texas Tech head coaching job?
I'm gonna have to defer that question to my agent. No comment at this time.
Yeah. Oh,
did they really? I'm gonna tell you, I've known Matt Wells for a long time. He is a great human, great man. I think he's a heck of a coach. I really like that staff. Got to know them when they were doing we're recruiting Deuce Fathery really hard. Flew a helicopter on our practice field and stuff of that nature. Matt Wells was the offensive coordinator at Utah State when I was at Cy Creek, and he recruited Chucky Keaton, who is also still at Utah State as a coach now. And we spent 7 hours together. And he was like, I can't leave here without Chucky's commitment. So we hung out the whole day. and Chucky ended up committing to Utah State and had a heck of a career at Utah State. So I hate that for him and his family. I know it's a business. I know it's all about it. And, at the end of the day, didn't win enough. But there's so many families and stuff affected by that. Yeah. Man, you just hate to hear it because I'm a fan of Matt Wells. I really am. Yeah. So good luck to him and his family and those coaches that are there.
Yeah. Yeah. People forget about the coaches as well. People forget about the families. It's a business. We all know that. You're hired to win football games. So they got to get that done. But they say on the college level, you either been fired or you're going to be fired, and that's just part of it, unfortunate part of it.
Well, Dennis Silva dropping the news.
I'd actually had to ask.
Hey, Adam Schefter, man. A better looking Adam Schefter.
I tell you what. Mini Adam Schefter here. I went to Texas Tech and I didn't even know Matt Wells had been fired. So now I know. I know that we will have a new head football coach. And yeah, it's tough. I mean, as a fan, like you coaches say, you say, as a fan, you're always like, we want to win. And then once winning doesn't happen, then you're like, well, okay, let's get rid of the coach. But there's more to it. There's families and movement and stuff like that. And, I've heard Matt Wells talk at, coaching school and stuff like that. I like the guy. I like his message and stuff. But at the end of the day, you have to win games, and he just wasn't winning them in Lubbock. And so, yeah, best of luck to him and his family. It'll be interesting to see. I think Sonny Cumbie is going to be the interim head coach, and we'll see what they do at Texas Tech. So moving on from that, back to America's favorite part of the show, the pick'em part. And there's a new leader in the clubhouse this week, as after last week going 5-0, Coach Sean McDowell leads with a 36-9 record.
So I'm winning something. That's not me. I'm not snake bit, Like,
he's not cursed.
I wish I was last and they're going to the playoffs, to be honest with you. So,
are y'all gonna do like a Ted Lasso thing, like burn something in the locker room to break the curse? Is that gonna happen?
I'm gonna write on a yellow piece of paper "Believe" and tape it right up on the door. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need a sports psychologist for sure, though. I need Rebecca, wherever the lady, to come. And so.
Hey, I'm just getting to that part. I was like, I hadn't watched it, and now I'm deep diving into it. Finished season 1 last night. Very happy with Ted Lasso. It's an awesome show.
Best show on TV, man. Best show.
Oh yeah.
The funniest part last night was when he runs up the stairs and crashes through his apartment to get a Believe sign out of his bathroom. I'm like, what? So anyways, Sean McDowell leads 36-9. 1 game back is Coach Williams at 35-10. Dennis Silva is 2 games back in the leader at 34-11, and bringing up the rear, 31-14. I will gladly take last place this season. But I believe this week is the do or die week for the championship because we've got some tough games to choose from.
Yes.
Here we go. The first one. Undefeated in district. This will be for the District 21 6A championship. Atascocita goes on the road over to North Shore on Friday night.
Go ahead, Sean. Take that one first, buddy.
Dang it. Dang it. Anybody know the status of the Atascocita quarterback? Do we know anything?
Great question.
From what I've heard, I think Gavin Session is going to be out, but there might be some miracle on Friday, but I don't know. I don't have confirmed sources on that.
A part of me is like, I bet against Atascocita earlier in the year and it bit me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever want to bet against North Shore. So my gut is I'm going to go with the Mustangs of North Shore. So I'm going to take North Shore on this one.
Oh, I think that's a good pick, sir. And the reason why is because I'm going to say defense. They're playing some great defense over there. I'm trying to think the last time Atascocita beat North Shore head-to-head. I think it might have been a little bit, but they both played C.E. King in the last couple weeks, and North Shore shut out C.E. King. and I believe Atascocita gave up 21. I'm going to go with defense on this one, especially with the quarterback not sure he's going to be there for Atascocita. I'm going to go ahead and go with North Shore and say that I think it's still going to be a close game. Might be a low-scoring game. You know, they're trying to figure out on offense on North Shore side, but I think defensively they'll hold the edge there, and I'll go with North Shore on that one.
Yeah, I'm going with North Shore too, especially with Session probably out. I don't know if I heard this wrong or right. I thought he was out for the rest of the year.
Oh.
And I don't know. I thought that's just what I heard. I would have to go back and try to remember. But I know, I would guess he's out for this game. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not trying to report anything on his status or anything, but I thought that's what I heard. And yeah, because of that, I just think North Shore's defense is too tough. And I think Atascocita offensively isn't what it is with Session. So, and you need someone like that against the North Shore. So I'm going to go with North Shore.
Yeah, this will be, according to Max Preps, this will be the 6th time that these two programs have played each other since 2016. They actually, in 2016, played in the regular season and then played in the playoffs as well. But North Shore's won the last two. Of course, granted, those last two were with Demetrius Davis at quarterback. But I think, like what y'all are saying, I think the defense is going to be too much. If Atascocita has to go with the young quarterback in Zion Brown, I just don't think he's got enough reps to, overcome this defense. So I'm going to go North Shore as well. It's at North Shore's place. North Shore knows how to win district championships. They're revving up for the playoffs at this point, and this is just the next box for them to check. So I'm going to go North Shore. The next game is undefeated Stratford, 8-0, 5-0 in district, taking on undefeated Jersey Village on Saturday. They are 8-0 and 5-0 in district. So the district championship lies in this one as well with two undefeated teams.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm going to go with Stratford, and just pretty much like I did the last one. I think their defense is a little more polished, playing pretty tough defense. They're very disciplined defense, what they're doing, a very sound system. And, two undefeated teams is going to be an exciting game, but I'm going to lean more towards the defense with this one. I'll go with Stratford.
Stratford's rolling. They put on a lot of points last week versus Side Creek, 64-0. Only reason I know that because McKeg and I, we are together in our misery a little bit. But his misery is going to continue. I'm going with Stratford as well, to be honest with you. So I just think they're rolling right now. They're uphill. I know Jersey Village is doing good. But I think Stratford just got the upper hand here, and my gut's telling me Stratford, so I'm going with them.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Stratford, too. I think Nash Rankin at quarterback is playing really well. He's kind of hitting his stride. Just a junior, too. He's a little smaller on the smaller side, but throwing the ball well. They got some running backs who can produce in the backfield. And I think the defense also can get some stops, enough stops to where Stratford can score enough points and hold Jersey Village to fewer points. So I'm going to go with Stratford.
This is a tough one because, like I said, I've got to catch up, but then at the same time, if I blow a pick, it's not good. Jersey Village is coming off of they beat Cy-Fair a couple weeks ago, 39-30, and in between that, they've had to beat Spring Woods, Northbrook. They didn't play Memorial as close as Stratford did, so I'm going to go Stratford as well. I think, like Dennis said, I think Nash Rankin is really good at quarterback. I think he's continuing to gain more and more confidence every single week. So I'm going to go Stratford as well. The next one is down Fort Bend ISD. Fort Bend Ridgepoint takes on Fort Bend Bush. This will be for pretty much that district championship. Both 5-0 in district. So are we going with the Broncos or the Panthers of Ridgepoint?
Well, that's a great one. And Bush is just so athletic. They got some monsters over there, especially. But yeah, they're on a 5-0 run. They're doing really good in district. Looks like they figured some things out. I'm gonna take in this one situation. I'm gonna take Ridgepoint, just because more of the consistency and what they're doing this entire year. They've lost some guys for the year, though. They have lost some offensive linemen that are gonna be out for the year. But I'm gonna pick Ridgepoint on that one again. They're playoff ready. They're a bit more consistent. They're playing some good defense. That quarterback, Emmanuel, he's a stud. He's a playmaker. I think he could be the difference maker in this one. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Rich Point.
Yeah, you just stole my thunder, man. I was like, the X factor here is Bert Emanuel, the quarterback. And Bush and George Ranch still have to play tonight.
Yeah.
Monday night.
They do. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, they have a short turnaround. So I'm thinking Ridge Point all the way on this one. It's a big game, but George Ranch and Bush are going to play Monday night. We don't know the outcome of that. Obviously, we will by the time this thing airs. But that's a tough one. It's a tough turnaround. Ridge Point's rolling. Bert Emanuel is an X factor. I'm going with the Panthers of Ridge Point.
Yeah, that's a good point. They do play tonight. I think they'll continue where Bush was up 7-0 on George Ranch late in the second quarter.
Yes.
That one. Ridge Point is banged up, especially on the D-line. Cherry's out for the season. Kalu's out for the season. They got their Calvin Harvey on the O-line is out for the season. They got some injuries, but Bert Emanuel is just playing out of his mind. And then Marvin Session at receiver, Izell Jolly in the backfield. They just got so many weapons. Bush is interesting in that, like Coach said, they are very athletic. D'Antonio Hackworth in the secondary is a terrific playmaker. Adrian Cormier, running back, he can sustain drives, do a really good job. It'll be interesting. If Bush was to lose to George Ranch, are they more fired up in a short span to play Ridge Point and try to get back into at least a share of the district title? I don't know. Or are they winded? I'm not sure what their numbers are like, but I would venture to say they don't have the numbers of a Ridge Point that could come into play Saturday. But I'm gonna go with Ridge Point against Bush.
Ridge Point has won 6 out of the last 7 district championships. Had a runner-up 2 years ago, I think, for Ben Travis. And I'm going with Ridge Point. They know how to go win district championships. Fort Bend Bush, by the way, the last district championship and only district championship they won was a co-district championship back in 2012. Yeah. So I'm going to go with Ridge Point. And plus, I think a quick turnaround, having to play on a Monday, you don't get your normal recovery after the rest of the game. So yeah, I'm gonna go Ridge Point. I think Bert Emanuel is one of the more under-recruited quarterbacks in the city of Houston, and I'm trying to still figure out why. I know there were some things about not having a bunch of tape, but now they've had tape, so very interesting. I know college recruiting is all kind of messed up, anyways. So I'm gonna go Ridge Point in that game. Another district championship game, because I found them all for Pick'em this week. Shadow Creek 5-0. They have picked things up. They take on Pearland for the District 23 6A championship. Who is going to come out of that? Are they pumping oil, or are the Sharks going to bite it off at the end?
That's a great question. I think, what I know about Pearland is that I think they went with the freshman quarterback now, right? I think that's what they're playing with. I think they're up and down. They're solid. But I think the Sharks are too athletic. I think the Shadow Creek Sharks are gonna roll. I like what they do offensively. Obviously, I'm a big fan of them defensively because they're always solid. They always got guys, and I think they're a little bit on the roll. I know that Pearland's been up and down, but I don't see them being able. They'll put up a good fight, but I'm gonna go with the Shadow Creek Sharks on this one.
Going right back with you, Sean. Again, I'm on a defensive theme this week. Defense. I believe Shadow Creek is definitely playing some better defense. Both teams, start off had some shaky games early in the year, and I like the way they put it together, especially Pearland. Tullis is doing a great job over there, as we know he will. But I'm going to lean more towards defense. I'm going to lean more towards Shadow Creek. Both teams are able to score. We know that, but. We'll go more and more on the defensive side of the ball, and I'll stick with that defensive theme, and I'll stick with Shadow Creek.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Shadow Creek too, simply because what Coach said about the defense, strong, athletic. They know how to win, and I think they're still very much looking for redemption from last year. They probably didn't go how they wanted in 6A. I think they can make a statement winning a district title like this, especially in a demonstrative way, heading into the playoffs. That'd be good for them. So I'm going with Shadow Creek.
Yeah, I said it earlier before the season started. Shadow Creek, Duke Butler, the quarterback. I mean, the kid's named Duke. He was born to be a quarterback. They're playing really good. defensively, they're playing solid as well. So I'm going to go Shadow Creek. I think they want to get back on top of the district. They lost out on the district championship just barely last year in an overtime game to Pearland Dawson. So Shadow Creek, I'm going to go with the Sharks in this one. The fifth game to pick this week is Dickinson against Clear Springs. Dickinson 4-0 in district, Clear Springs 3-1 in district. They're tied with Clear Falls, so a win here over Dickinson would be huge for Clear Springs. Who gets this? Is it the Gators or the Chargers?
I'm going with the Gators. I'm simply going with the Gators. Athletic, big, physical team from Dickinson. I like Clear Springs. They're competitive. They're feisty. I like that team a lot, but I'm going with the bigger, more physical, more athletic Dickinson on that one. If they win, are they district champions? Would this seal it for the Dickinson? Do you know?
Most likely.
If they're 4-0 right now, I'm looking for them to seal it up right here and go into the playoffs district champions.
Yeah, I like Dickinson too. The Gator Chomp and all the stuff they got working down there. And I like Donovan Green, their tight end. He's a monster, and he lines up at tight end, moves around. I think Clear Springs will put up a fight. Obviously, they're not going to lay down. But, man, I really like what Dickinson does on every phase of the football. And plus, Coach Nelson, he's a good old guy, man. I really like him. He's one of my mentors, and I love talking to him. So if he watches this, they know I got him. So I'm going with Dickinson.
Yeah, I'm going with Dickinson, too. I just think they're too big, too athletic for Clear Springs. I think it's going to be close, but I think Dickinson's got this one.
Yeah, I'm just going to go Gator Chomp.
Yes.
Give me the Chomp all day long. I think Dickinson's playing good football right now. They struggled early in the season. They had some tough games. They're once again showing their dominance in this district. So I'm going to go Dickinson in this one, and they win a district championship. So a lot of district championships on the line this week in those 5 games. But here's a surprise. There's a bonus pick this week.
We unanimous, right? I think all picks are we're all agreeing, right? 5 for 5, everybody?
Yeah,
I need a bonus. I need a bonus, whatever it is, man. Give it to me. I need it.
Here we go. 5A. We're going down to 5A. Magnolia West, undefeated, goes and takes on New Caney and Kedrick Ruscano, the running back. Who wins this one? New Caney 5-1 in district has clinched playoff berth. Mag West trying to stay undefeated for potentially their meeting with College Station next week for the district championship.
That's a good one.
Mag West. I'm going with it first. I'm taking Mag West.
That's a good one.
So I think New Caney's tough. They're playing really well, but, I mean, it's tough to beat an undefeated team. I really feel like Magnolia West is rolling. I picked them earlier this season when they played Magnolia. So I'm just going to keep riding that Mustang, whatever it is that they're low. I think they're Mustangs. So I'm going with Mag West all the way on this one.
I need to catch up, Sean. I need a game. I need to catch up. Oh, I need to catch up. But I'm going to agree with you as well. I'm going to go Mag West. And the reason why, and, nothing against New Caney, I really like the program. They're scoring a lot of points, on a really good job this year. I think they went against a tough College Station early in the year, and that didn't go well for them at all. They went against Lufkin, put out a close game against Lufkin. But Mag West had a good win over Magnolia a week or so ago. I think they're going to keep it rolling. They're undefeated. They're going to stay undefeated going towards the playoffs. I'm going to go with Mag West.
I think it's going to be a great game. I'm going to go with New Caney just to be different and because I need the help. And because I think we all have been picked the same so far. I'm going to go New Caney just for that reason. I think it's going to be a good game. But I'm not going to be surprised at all if Mag West wins, but I'm going to go New Caney.
Yeah, as much as I know I need to be different because I'm like 4 games back or something, I think I'm just accepting defeat at this point and just kind of trying to stay close. Man, Mag West is playing really good football. Brock Dalton, Hunter Bilbo, I really think the way last season ended, there's teams that carry, good momentum into the offseason. They played really well, got deep in the playoffs. Well, Mag West slid at the back of end of last year, and everyone was like, what happened? And I think that honestly ticked them off, how they finished. And they finished like 4-6 on the year, didn't make the playoffs. I think that kind of motivated them in the offseason to go, hey, we're going to show out our senior year. We got to go win. And I think they're going to beat New Caney. It'll be a close game. Kedrick Crisano's a heck of a running back to stop at New Caney. They've got the offense flying around over there. I think it'll be maybe like a 1 touchdown, 2 touchdown game, just like the Magnolia game. But I'm going to go Mac West in this one. I think they win this game, stay undefeated, to set up an undefeated showdown with College Station next week for the district championship, which would be that'd be a fun one to put on the calendar.
Hey, what? I think College Station is a clear front runner to compete for the state title in Division 2 or Division 1, man. Seriously. You know, like they are nasty, you know? So, woo.
Yeah, they got I think it's quarterback. It might be the coach's son, Jet Huff. Is that Jet Huff?
And defensively, they're playing like lights out, you know? And so I'm excited to be able to. I wish I didn't get to watch them, but I'm probably going to go watch them.
I'm
going to be there. I'm going to be there in a bad mood, but I'll be there.
A Peyto College Station game would be a.
Woo! Let's get it.
Hey,
we record these, so if it ends up being Peyto and College Station, Coach Williams is going to be sitting there on our watch along going, I called it on October 25th.
That's it.
Well, at least you got one person for the watch along now, right? You got one guy. You can lock him. Send my agent the contract. We'll get it signed.
All right. Well, that'll wrap up this edition of the Coach's Corner. We picked 6 games this week. We will see who ends up. I still got to figure out what I'm gonna do for the trophy or something. I gotta find something. There's got to be some report here that the winner can carry around and put in the background for next year. But always appreciate the time of Coach James Williams of the Fort Bend Marshall Buffs. They're back in action this week, as are Sean McDowell's Foster Falcons and Dennis Silva II. I'm Josh Cook of VYPE Media. Sure to tune in to the Coach's Corner every single Wednesday at 6 o'clock, and we'll see you out at the game.